Anderson, Kenny Parker, and Jason Boyette. Brought to you by First Bank, Kincaid Service Company, and Piggly Wiggly. Let's get ready to talk some sports. Here are your hosts, David, Bill, Kenny, and Jason.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bedford County Sports Talk Live here on Shelbyville Now. I'm David Thomas, Jason Boyette, Kenny Parker, Mr. Bill Anderson. We're here to talk a little local sports, talk a little college sports for a brief moment, and then dive into the NFL draft because I know that's what Bill and Kenny and this guy over here, man, y'all are all experts at this stuff.
No, we're not experts, but we think we are.
Okay, well, that's good enough.
We're as good
as long as we think it.
That's right.
We're as good
that's
as
right.
ones on TV and less expensive, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Way less
probably
expensive,
about as accurate.
And hopefully not quite as annoying.
Yeah.
Some of those guys on some of those channels,
I can't
hardly watch
watch
ESPN.
Copper anymore. I can't watch it.
Between him and Greenberg, I can't do either one of them. Can't do it.
Well, before we dive into our local scores, let's hear from our sponsors. First Bank here in Shelbyville, and also the Piggly Wiggly. Man, I forgot the popcorn.
I
Jason.
know. I'm waiting. My mouth's been salivating over popcorn.
I know. You need to run out there after the show and get you some.
I might.
I promise.
By my house, yeah.
Yeah, just wheel in and get you 2 bags.
It's a good idea. Watch the draft this afternoon.
That's right.
Eat popcorn
Eat them
all
all.
day.
Eat it all.
Oh, I'm watching the draft.
Watching the draft. All right. And also we have
Kincaid
Service
Company,
where service is their middle name. We'll be right back after we hear from them.
Shop local at Shelbyville Piggly Wiggly, down home, down the street. From farm fresh produce and hand-cut meats to pantry staples, dairy, frozen favorites, and household essentials, we've got your list covered at hometown prices. Don't miss our weekly ad and truckload meat sales. Open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Visit 874 Union Street, Shelbyville, or call 931-684-1363. Follow us on Facebook for the latest specials. Shop local. Save big at the Pig.
At Kincaid Service Company, we've proudly served Middle Tennessee since 1934. Families across the region trust us for quality furniture, appliances, electronics, and the kind of service only a hometown business can provide. From living room sets and dining collections to washers, dryers, refrigerators, and the latest in home entertainment, Kincaid has everything you need to make your house a home. And when it comes to a great night's sleep, our showroom features leading brands of mattresses, offering comfort and quality you can count on. We don't just sell products, we stand behind them. When you buy your appliances or electronics from Kincaid, our expert service team is here to keep them running for years to come. It's the kind of care that sets us apart. For value, selection, and service you can trust, visit Kincaid Service Company today, locally owned and community strong.
On game day, winning is everything. But life's big wins happen off the field. When you win a heart. When you win their trust. When you win their respect. First Bank's community banking is perfect for life's big wins because of what we're big on. You. Make us part of your team for life's biggest wins.
All righty, welcome back in here to Bedford County Sports Talk Live. Mr. Bill Anderson, you have some local scores of interest.
Hi, guys. Softball got their first district win to beat Coffee County 6-4.
big game.
Man, they're gaining a little momentum.
Yeah, big win.
Every week we talk about
was a
them
big
picking up some.
I had the Coffee County Warren County game the other night. Coffee County's second in the district, so
right
for Shelbyville to beat them, that's a big win.
Yeah, they're grinding these wins out here and there, and that's good for them.
Just slow
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
So,
It takes a while.
Yep.
They'll get there.
And a 6-4 win over Coffee County's got to give them a little bit of
Sure.
confidence.
mhm.
Kenny, I think their season ends Monday where they got at Franklin County. You up in that game?
Yeah, I've got that game for Monday night. Next week is the last week to finish up all your non-district, district before tournament starts. I think tournament starts Thursday or Friday next week.
And Scott Spray's watching.
Yeah,
Hey, Scott.
God,
is he going
Super
Monday
fan.
night? Is he going to get on the bus and go to Franklin County with a Monday night?
If I was a bet man, I would say the odds are pretty good. The probabilities are good.
Right.
Unless the baseball team's at home Monday.
That's right. A lot of stuff going on.
All right, Shovel Boys went to Dixon County in that tournament. Dixon County beat us 8-2, but we came back in a double hitter and beat them 15-11. And then the big series this week was Cookville. Cookville beat Shelbyville 6-0 there. They had us down 6-0 here. We came back with 7 runs and beat them 7-6.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shelbyville beat Franklin County 8-3, and Shelbyville beat Franklin County again at Franklin County the next night 10-2. So the district looks like this: Cookville 6-2, 19-5. Lincoln County's 5-3, 22-8. Shelbyville's 5-3, 24-7. Coffee County's 4-4, 15-11. This one always blows me away. Warren County's 0-8, but 20-9 overall.
Yep.
good job scheduling.
Unbelievable.
Good job
Yeah,
scheduling.
yeah.
huh?
Right.
Huh.
Hey,
Well-
Jason's gonna hit us up about some tennis too.
Yeah, we got a text last night said Shovel Boys won today. That would have been yesterday in semifinals against Tullahoma as a team. They play Lawrenceburg for the championship next week as a team. Henry Stone won the district championship, and Lily Smith got second in the district. And I think the boys may have won. I think the boys are having a really good season.
The
Girls
boys
are
are
playing
having-
well, but
What I read in
Yeah.
the newspaper the other day, the Sheffield tennis boys,
yeah, they're playing well.
their singles and their doubles are playing
Yeah.
very well.
Okay, let's talk about this. Jason, you're in the middle of this. Is testing over with now?
We've got one more week.
One more week,
Another
and then
Mhm.
that pretty much ends the academic part of the
Yeah,
school year,
after
and
the
things
te-
start.
We're doing a lot of fun stuff.
Fun
after that.
stuff.
Let me
after
tell
that.
you, after the testing,
Uh-huh.
it's what I call the field trip.
Right. Yeah, well, that's the way it's always been.
It is field
Those
trip,
last
really.
3 weeks of school
You'll
are
be-
like a party.
You'll be
Award day,
surprised.
and
You'll be
Yeah.
surprised how many
Yeah.
field trip
field
requests
trip,
we got.
field days.
All right,
yeah, okay.
but there's something going on serious in the world of sports. Is we got some spring football that's
We
going to
do.
kick in those
Yes,
last
it ought to be it
this
ought to be.
last time
I think
I text Coach Dryden this morning. He said they start Monday.
Monday.
okay,
And what
Spring
they have,
game is May
12
the
days?
14th.
Is it 12
I
days
think-
they get?
I think they have. I think they get 10,
10?
10 to,
And
out
two
of 15.
scrimmages?
One.
I don't.
Only one
It's May the
scrimmage?
14th here against Columbia.
and
Okay.
I talked to Coach Carcliffe at church the other day, and he told me when that they were getting ready to get started, but they're pretty close to getting
All right,
started.
so here's my question. This is an honest question. Can 8th graders come up and go ahead and practice? They can't yet, can
Not
they? Not till
unless-
fall.
Not unless they're in your building,
I got you.
and we don't have anybody in the school system.
How many
now.
days do they have to be in the building?
They're no
2
they
days?
have-
No,
They're
they
being
have to
rolled
be
in.
in
They're-
school.
they're-
Oh,
they're-
okay.
Their school,
We can get
like-
them in the building a day or two.
like when until
Yeah.
Community and Cascade both built until Community and Cascade both built their new high school.
Yeah.
Their 8th grade was in that same building.
and they
and
could do it.
They could
Well,
do
see,
that then.
that's an unfair advantage for those type situations.
Well, you don't. When you get bigger schools, you don't have that. That's
Yeah.
the only time you have
yeah,
that.
but I
in the
think an
small
8th
schools.
grader, if they're coming freshmen, they should be able to start to assemble as a freshman team at least.
You know why they don't do that?
Why?
Recruiting.
Recruiting.
Yeah.
I believe they can come in any time after July. Is what Coach Dryden told me last year.
After the school year's over with.
Yeah.
After the school
I
year.
have to wait
Oh,
till
but I think
actually
the day
July.
after,
I don't think
yeah.
they can do it in June. I think
Yeah,
it's July.
that's right. But that's where that when you get to places like and we talk about it all the time, the Rutherford County,
Oh, yeah.
Davidson County, where the big schools are so close together, and
Yeah.
that's why they do that.
Biggest unfair advantage is this one. Let's move our 9th grade over here and do what a bunch of these schools are doing.
Yeah.
Let's play in 3A instead of
Yeah.
5A.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ninth
Like
grade.
right down the road here.
The 9th grade academy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pretty
good idea.
A lot of people, Lincoln
Right.
County did that for years.
Giles has done it for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
That's how
convinced
they
Tullahoma's
stay in
doing
number
it.
3.
Right.
Yeah.
They should be 4
Right.
or 5 if they put them all together.
Lot
They'd
of-
be
like
4,
Bill-
big upper 4 or below 5 is where they be.
Bill is correct.
Yeah.
A lot of them do that. And you know what? That's a win-win
Well, let me ask you this.
because those kids are getting to play. If they were they're not going to get to play like they.
Let me ask you this as an educator, and you're an educator. Is there an advantage to having the ninth grade broken off from the general high school population? Is there an advantage academically, or does it matter having them in the same building with older kids? If you had them just them to themselves, what do you think?
It could be less distractions possibly, but I don't think it's a big difference.
I mean, just think you want to be the small fish in a big pond or the big fish in a small pond.
Or yeah.
But it definitely helps out the high school when you're dropping down a
academically, athletically. It
Yeah.
does. Absolutely,
Sure
yeah, it does.
Yeah,
All right,
it
but-
helps their enrollment.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised that when I go and I'm working some of these softball games, I'll just tell you the other day I was working a Smyrna game. I said, this pitcher's pretty good. She's a freshman. Talking to some of the other schools I'm talking about, that she's a freshman.
Freshman.
She's a freshman.
Yeah.
So a lot of in those kind of spring sports, summer sports can help more so than football. And it's the same way as we talk about, these 18-year-old kids going to college, having to play against the 25-year-old kids that have been setting back from NIL and all. It's the same deal.
Scott says no, he's not going. The bus was full.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Hey, one more shout out. Harris Middle School baseball.
Yes, they've had a
Had a
great
heck of a
year.
year, haven't
Yeah,
After 2 tough seasons, they
Yeah.
having a great one. That's good.
Yeah,
Good for
that is
them.
good.
Bill, what else you got?
All right. Softball, Cascade lost to Columbia 8-5. And Kenny, who else did they play? Did you say?
They beat Loretta.
Loretta.
They went to Loretta and beat them the other day, and then they lost to Coffee County 2-1 last week. I don't know if they played yesterday or not. I know they lost to Coffee County 2-1 Wednesday, but
I got another
getting
question.
better.
I'm going to be
They're
like
getting better.
the typical fan out here that's a dummy and don't know nothing. All right.
Uh-huh.
Why would Cascade and Columbia be playing softball? Is that because that's the only way they could get the schedule put together to get a game?
No,
or what?
you get a lot of. We get a lot of that just so they can play games.
But
Because in softball, I'm sure it's the same way in baseball. You can practice, but you can't get better hitting unless you're going against quality pitching.
I get that.
And the
But,
coaches.
but
are
why
the
would
same way.
Columbia want them? I mean, why would a 5 or what are they 5A Columbia
They won't just play a nobody. They want to play
a
somebody
better
that's-
better? Okay.
yes. Just like the other day, I had Baylor come in and played, and they came up to Coffee County last weekend, and she came just so her girls could play against better pitching.
Do you ever run into this? And you hear it in football. Well, this is the only teams we could get to play us, and sometimes you end
No,
up with a tough schedule.
It's not that way. Now, Columbia, Coffee will play Cascade. They'll play Community, but a team like Shelbyville does not need to play Cascade or Community in the county.
Right.
But it's not.
What's the difference?
There's a lot of different.
Well, I understand though, but it's the same concept. If you're like wanting to play the best, you got a high school 10 miles down the road from you. Why not play the best or better?
If you're the bigger school,
Mhm.
you don't want to lose to the smaller school, and then
You got nothing to gain and all to
you
lose.
got nothing
Don't
to gain and
lose.
all to-
Don't lose. You
But
know.
you very well could.
But I think it would be very interesting in all sports to see, at least scrimmage. And we've done this a time or two. I think we've had jamborees together, but we've never lined up and played against one another. Like Central's never played Community, and
They did
and
baseball
Central,
this year.
I'm talking about football.
Oh, football. Now that's
we
a different
did
story.
one year.
We scrimmaged,
Yeah, we
2 quarters or something.
When my first year at Cascade, we
Yeah.
came back and scrimmaged and had a good deal with Coach Staxton and
Yeah,
Coach Lewis.
yeah,
and all
yeah.
that. But after that,
At some point,
We
though,
did.
when you're out of conference games, I've always said this. And correct me if I'm wrong, though. I would rather play Cascade for the gate is drive up to Hendersonville.
Yes.
Or go
Oh,
somewhere away from
exactly.
that's a fact.
And
That's a
hey,
fact.
just
Yeah.
for the gate and the financials of it.
I mean,
Right.
even though there's a big disparity between our classifications, if you're going to do that with another school at half across the state, why don't you do it with a school right in? And I know
Help
the
each other out.
I
argument
get it.
that's already been there.
I agree.
We don't want to lose
Mhm.
if we're the bigger school.
You got nothing. to
Don't
gain.
lose.
Yeah.
But don't lose. It puts pressure on your kids to not lose, and then you're playing with guys that you played with in younger at a younger age.
But I'll say
it'd
this.
be just fun, you know. To me, it'd be
like
fun.
a county civil war.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I coached at two places like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But think about the kids playing against each other.
Yeah.
They could be some rumbling in the jungle during the game.
Well, that's fun too.
Yeah, until you have to set.
But
one or
okay,
two
so
of
you're
them out
telling me,
later
Kenny,
on.
you're telling me, Kenny, the coaches don't want to do that. That's what you're telling me.
I'm talking about the players against each
Oh,
other.
I know that, but you're
a
you're
couple years ago with Shelby
yeah.
Franklin. Was
Yeah.
it Franklin County?
You're talking though from a coach's standpoint. That's what you're looking at.
The coaches and athletic directors. I know. Here's what.
Us fans don't have no.
Let me tell you. When I was coaching softball, this goes a long time ago.
Yeah.
When I was coaching softball at Shelbyville,
Yeah.
we played Cascade.
Yeah.
And Cascade beat us.
Okay.
And Jeff Gilmore was the driver's ed teacher
Yeah.
that did both of them. He said it was all over, up and down the hallways at Cascade. That opened the intercom discussion.
Yeah.
That Cascade beat Shelbyville.
Yeah.
And I was told after that we don't do that no more.
And see that right there.
But we did play them a second time because we had a
Yeah.
home and
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
And we on the other end of the stick the second time.
Okay.
But
that's just that's really a battle of Bedford right there.
well, I don't disagree.
I think we ought to have some just tournaments, just 3 teams playing.
When I was at Liberty basketball, we had a battle of not battle.
You
They called
did.
it Bedford County tournament.
It was the Bedford County tournament.
and it was Liberty and Cascade and Unionville and Way Up.
okay.
Uh-huh.
And
And
Harris
at the
didn't
end of
play?
the year,
No.
no, but Harris
Why?
wasn't in it.
They weren't. It was basically their
Smaller
conference.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. We were seeded 1 through 4, and then we'd play each other and have a
Yeah,
championship.
that'd be fun. But you put Harris.
Now
in
we
there.
did scrimmage
They're
when
the
I was at
same
Liberty. We did
age.
scrimmage Harris.
They're
We
the
did
same
scrimmage.
age. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like they're
We'd
10
get
years
together.
older.
We get together and scrimmage, not counting.
Yeah.
But we'd scrimmage.
Guys, I always think way outside and left
Yeah,
field. I'm
yeah.
sorry, but it's just fun to think about.
Yeah.
It would
All
be
3
some
of our
excitement.
football teams playing each other.
And I really
just for
enjoy
the
it.
heck of
Football, I don't think, honestly, it would be much of a game, to be honest with you.
It would
Not
wouldn't
in
be
football.
much- No, it
No, I
wouldn't
think in the
be.
other
Not in
sports,
football.
it'd be
Other sports is different. Football, it would not be
No,
close.
no, football.
But it'd be fun.
No,
It'd
well,
just be fun to line up.
Maybe if you let
It's a
Shelby's
jamboree.
JV.
Hey,
Maybe let your JV guys
jamboree.
play.
Do it in the jamboree and have just a half, and have a deal where it's like second team
I
or
really
something.
enjoyed there for a couple years when I was
Yeah.
at Cascade, and then after I got out, we had the Bedford County Jamboree
Yeah.
here at Shelby.
Yes.
And I don't know if we actually played each other, but you had the
Yeah.
opportunity to all the teams come in. And you
Yes,
could sit
that's
down
what I'm
and,
thinking
and
right
watch
there.
them all
See?
play at the same
I
time.
think that would be awesome,
Mhm.
and make a big promote it up big, and where you've got maybe your freshman team get out there and scrimmage a little bit or something.
and
you know?
and did that, but we had the middle school teams, Liberty,
Yeah.
and all came in,
Yeah.
and they may have scrimmaged each other, but then community had a game, we had a game, Shovel had a game,
Yeah.
and you could see
It's a way to get a good gate, isn't it?
I just
Yeah.
think that's what
Yeah.
you do, and just
Right.
rally the community
Sure.
together
Yeah.
and
That
have a
was
big
good.
homecoming type
That was
thing.
good, and I think they do that in basketball.
Guys,
They
I'm
do all
sorry
that.
to occupy because I know y'all want to get to the draft, but I just want to kind of have some
Sure.
fun with our local stuff and just think
Right.
some crazy stuff and some dreaming a little bit.
Mhm.
What else you got, Bill?
Community girls softball 6-3 over Summertown, 6-0 over Forest. They played Westmoreland, beat them 8-7, and they played Brentwood Academy and beat them 17-4.
Yeah,
We
they're
heard on the radio they're ranked number 6 in the state. But Kenny, Summertown's ranked number 4, and Community's handled them easily twice.
That goes back to past history. That
Yeah.
goes back to past history.
It won't matter come
It
tournament
won't
time.
matter
It
come
won't.
tournament time.
It
Yeah,
won't.
matter.
Battle of Bedford, Cascade and Community. Cascade boys won both of them 3-1 and 12-3.
They're having a good season. Cascade baseball.
Baseball teams.
Loretta came in number 1, Summertown's 2, Cascade's 3, Forest's 4, Community was 5. But I want to talk about Webb for a minute. They beat Franklin Road Academy 20-9, and they're now ranked number 5 in the state of Tennessee in small school.
Small school.
Coach Hall doing a nice job out there. He's 9-2 and second in his region behind Middle Tennessee Christian, who's also ranked. So
Mhm.
Webb's had a good year in baseball.
And here I go again. I'm gonna go chasing another rabbit. guys, athletically, what's happening at Webb? What is their plan going forward? Are they going to continue basketball, baseball? I know football's gone, of course. Are they going to sit right where they are and try to stabilize the athletic program with what they have
I
now?
don't think that's going to be hard to fill the
Yeah.
ball club.
I don't think they're going to.
I'm not talking about football. Just I know it's off the table.
I'm talking about all their sports. They're
Yeah.
not going to, in the past they went all in with their basketball,
Yeah.
boys and girls.
Yeah.
With they're not going to be. They're not going there. New headmaster, new administration,
New priorities.
Yeah, and I had somebody tell me the other day that they had a daughter-in-law or somebody that's kin to them that had been in Webb for 25 or 30 years, and they moved them out.
Yeah. I know about that. There's
several
like that.
There's a lot of transition going on.
Downscaling, it seems like, financially.
Yeah, raising the tuition way up.
Tuition way up. Trying to get it back to what I would call old school way.
The 1970s Webb.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hear about sports at all, hardly at all.
Didn't care about it.
No.
Nope.
Didn't care about it, and they.
Well, we knew the tuition was going to go up when the voucher thing happened.
Yeah.
And they have really put in a lot of. I'm telling you right now, you go down. I called a softball game at Webb on Webb softball field. They're not very good, but their field is second to anybody's.
Yep, they've spent a lot of money on that, on all their athletic fields.
All their athletics.
And now it's what happens.
Yep. Right. They'll continue to play, but I don't think they'll put the emphasis on
all academics going forward. Yeah,
a lot more of.
I mean, there's that's valid. I mean, if
and
that's
then
the
you're
way you
going
want
to
to
have
go,
maybe not enough kids for
Right.
some sports.
Right.
And
Yep.
start
Yep.
dropping out because you don't have enough
Yep.
kids to fill the team.
All right, guys, let's shift into college now, just for a little bit. Hey, man, I know you want to talk about him declaring for the draft,
Yep.
and then we'll take a break after this and jump into the draft. But what's going on? I know you want to talk about him. What are your thoughts on him?
We knew he was going to declare. He could still come back, so I still think he got a 50-50 chance of coming back. Yeah, I still think he's got a chance to come. He had to declare.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Tennessee want him back.
Absolutely, you want him back.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about the kid from Kennesaw State?
That's a good.
He looks like he's.
I mean, that's a good team with or without
Yeah.
Ament. They're still good, but
The big thing is Barnes is 6 for 6 if he gets you on campus. If he gets you on campus, you're coming to Tennessee. The big thing is going to be Juke Harris that we're waiting on.
Yeah.
It's down to us in Michigan now. North Carolina, I think, is out of it. And that's a money grab. It's going to be down to money. The guy at Oracle.
he may be kind of.
He's looking at the draft too.
Yeah,
but he's not going to be like a min. He's going to be a 24, 28 pick.
Yeah. Back to the conversation we're having about the inter-county competing. Travis Sheffield, I've been asking that same question.
Yeah.
Why not? It's a legitimate question.
Hey,
Back to
Travis Sheffield's listening. We need
Yeah,
you
come
on
on
here
the show.
with us, buddy.
Yeah.
I need you, Coach. I need you
we'd
to
love
sit
to
right
have
over
you.
here beside me.
Yeah.
Where it makes sense is your gait and your travel.
Yeah.
Because it just makes sense.
And also your camaraderie between locals.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always felt that there's been walls between all of our high school sports because there's this given that we're over here, you're over there, and you're over here. I think it would be good to get everybody together.
I do too.
I think
I
it's
do
socially for the adults.
And
it'll be
I'll
good.
be honest with you. Spring sports, I think they'll all be competitive with each other.
I do too.
Right.
I think they can be pretty good.
And the jamboree for football would be great.
I don't disagree with
All right,
that.
back to that. Sorry,
Yeah.
but we did to get these comments.
Thank you,
And
Coach.
Thanks for chiming in and
I'll give
giving
y'all
us
an
your take.
example. I don't know
We'd
if-
love to have you to come and talk about
Sure,
that
love
in
it,
person.
yeah.
All
But,
right.
you know,
Exactly.
I think Shelbyville played Webb in baseball. Was that a scrimmage maybe or whatever
Yeah.
it was? But actually,
Yeah.
Webb beat
Yeah.
Shelbyville.
Right.
It was early in the season.
Yeah, it was very
was
first
a-
I
year.
think
Maybe
it was like a
scrimmage.
preseason scrimmage.
But you're right. It would be very competitive.
Sure, yeah.
And there's
Football,
no,
not so much probably, but
but here's
And
the
even
thing
if
about
they
that.
even if they just did it in preseason,
Right.
and just in preseason, charge a revenue for it, have it like a preseason jamboree. Cascade plays Shelbyville 3 innings, Cascade plays Unionville 3 innings, Cascade plays Webb, Shelbyville.
Now,
Each one of them
here's
3
here's
inning
another
game.
thing to add into the mix. Get all your cheerleaders together, even though it's preseason.
Yeah.
Get all the cheerleaders. Get all 3 bands.
Work all the kinks out.
Just do it.
Get everything.
Practice. This is a
Right,
dress
yeah.
rehearsal. We're going to do it together.
again, I would still rather have the game against Cascade or Community or whoever than drive to Clarksville.
Yeah.
And I've got a long bus ride. It's expensive.
Right.
Yeah,
And I just
and
rather
if
do that.
we had one of them, I would really like it too, because
Yeah.
there wouldn't be a bus
It
ride.
wouldn't be a bus
Yeah.
ride.
Everybody just show up.
Yeah, everybody just show up.
And the
all
gates
right,
voted.
sorry about that, y'all. But
All right.
that thanks for the comments,
Yes.
guys.
Vanderbilt added some, finally hit the portal. They hadn't been really quiet. They got Ace Glass shooting guard, Washington State, and they got a kid named Dak, a 7-foot center out of Colorado, and a Turkish player from Nebraska, the power forward. I'm not going to try his
A
name.
Turkish player from the
Yeah, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this kid's name. He's a big guy, 6'10",
Oh, God.
240, and they got the kid from Auburn, Sebastian Williams Adams, and they got T.O. Barrett, the shooting guard from Missouri. That's the guy that killed Tennessee this year, if you remember.
Yep.
Vanderbilt will continue to add. They're not.
But the biggest news
They're
was
slow.
Tyler Tanner did not hit the portal like everybody thought was,
Yeah.
and all these Tennessee fans thought he was going to switch. But he's not.
He's staying at Vandy.
Sure. I don't think he was ever going to switch. I don't know where that was coming from.
Well, he sees what's coming.
Yeah.
He sees it.
Where was he
They're-
projected to go if he come out? Do we know?
Nah, he was not. He wouldn't have gone in the first round because he's too short. No, they don't,
Yeah, I
6
don't
foot
know.
6 foot guys don't get drafted.
Man, there's some of these point guards 6'5", 6'6", and can
Yes.
light a three up. And if
Yeah.
you're 6'2" or 6'3", I mean, it's
Or
tough.
6'1",
Be hard to
6
defend
foot.
someone.
I mean,
Tanner
there's
Perry's
only
6
one
foot.
Steph Curry in the league.
Right.
There's only one of him. And I think in the back over the years,
Yeah, but he's 6'3" or 4".
yeah,
He's still bigger than you think.
And Allen Iverson was played at
Yeah.
6'1". Well, he was a freak of nature.
So what you're saying? There's only Spud Williams.
Spud Williams.
Spud is
That's
out
right.
the door.
Spud.
But I tell you, Spud.
Well,
was
watch the
something.
NBA draft and watch the terrible stats these people have in some cases, and they're going 10th, 12th, first round.
I know.
pick
Back
12.
then, when Spud was here, and back when Iverson, they were playing more of a basketball game than what they're playing now. It was basketball.
It was more.
It
fun
wasn't.
to
I
watch.
always said the NBA does the worst job of scouting for their draft. They make
Yes.
horrible picks.
Right. It's all about measurables. How tall
Yeah.
are you? How
Yeah.
high can
Yeah.
you jump? Not can,
Yeah.
you, can
Yeah.
you play? That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Can you shoot? I don't
Well,
care.
they,
Can you shoot. What's your
knowing the game doesn't matter at that level.
I'd rather have some 19-year-old who might be good.
And
you know, than someone who's proven and played
fixing to
college
move to is
basketball.
kind of this way on some things
Because
because
these
it,
NFL kids ain't coming out. They're staying in.
That's
You know,
right.
these kids, we'll talk
Yeah.
about that.
but
in
it's
a
about
minute.
measurables there
Yeah.
too. Again,
Oh,
when I go to that combine, certain teams move you up because
Sonny
what
Styles.
was your
Sonny
40
Styles
time?
would have never been.
Hey, the Titans did a
Till then.
horrible job drafting years ago because of the combine.
Yes.
I got a question for you two guys. You're basketball guys. Me and Kenny are. I kind of am. Kenny watches. But here's a question for you guys. Is it time now for another professional basketball league to come out and play a more traditional game? Would there be an audience for it?
No.
The
No.
college
No,
people?
all these extra pro things never do work.
No.
From
I know.
football
I
to everything
understand.
else, they
But
don't
you
work.
look how far out on a limb the NBA's gone. Though.
But nobody is watching the NBA. It's not being watched.
No, the Chinese watch it more than Americans do. That's who
I don't
support
watch
that
it. I
league.
can't stand it.
I can't either.
Love college basketball.
But
I love
that's the
college.
part, that game right there transferred into a professional league, and you adapt the rules to where that's the way it has to be played. Would that work? I'm just
Sadly,
saying.
the college game is moving to what we're talking about
Yeah,
too.
It is
Yeah.
And
definitely
the women's game
And the
is the only
women-
purest one form that there is.
right, but it's slowly moving.
It's coming. The whole game's changed.
Yeah.
It's just
It's sad.
the days of the pick and roll and
Yeah.
it's over.
Actually, passing the ball and playing defense and
Yeah.
knowing how to block out,
Right.
how to dribble,
Right.
and
Everything's
bounce
4 out,
pass,
1
what
in,
about a
shoot
bounce
threes.
pass? When's the last
Well,
time
now you get
see-
an extra step. You get the Euro.
How many times
Oh,
you
yeah.
Three
see?
steps now.
Hey, how many times you see a guy protect the baseline on defense
Right.
and force them out?
And
it
they got
don't
that,
happen. Just
they got that
watch
little
them go
arc in
by.
there. They got that little arc in there
Yeah.
where you can't touch somebody.
You
or
don't see
something.
traveling
So-
called. You don't
No.
see carrying the ball. Carrying the ball is no longer called
No.
anymore. Double dribbling's not called
If
anymore.
LeBron James took the ball on the inbound pass and never dribbled the ball, they let him walk down the floor and dunk it.
What was
That's
that big
terrible.
center's name at Purdue a couple of years ago when they played?
Oh,
Tennessee?
80. Yeah.
Never did call 3 seconds. I guess that's another rule.
He
of
played
law.
right
just
there.
stood
He,
there.
he
Yeah.
was in there for minutes.
Yeah.
Never said a word to him.
No.
Just the game's
He had
changed.
to pay taxes down there.
I think he did too. He'd set up house, that's for sure.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know how you're supposed to do anything when you
Let's
stay
not
down
talk
there
about
for.
property taxes
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
What do you got, Bill? Anything else? Or
That's it. We're
all
ready
right.
to get NFL.
Let's
Let's take a break.
all right. We're going to take a break and hear from our sponsors once again. First Bank here on Madison Street, and the Pig out on Union Street. Save big at the Pig, and Jason, don't forget your
Get that
popcorn.
popcorn.
And also,
Kincaid.
Service.
Company.
Where Service is their middle name, right here on Madison Street in downtown Shelbyville. We'll be right back.
Shop local at Shelbyville Piggly Wiggly, down home, down the street. From farm fresh produce and hand-cut meats to pantry staples, dairy, frozen favorites, and household essentials, we've got your list covered at hometown prices. Don't miss our weekly ad and truckload meat sales. Open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Visit 874 Union Street, Shelbyville, or call 931-684-1363. Follow us on Facebook for the latest specials. Shop local. Save big at the Pig.
At Kincaid Service Company, we've proudly served Middle Tennessee since 1934. Families across the region trust us for quality furniture, appliances, electronics, and the kind of service only a hometown business can provide. From living room sets and dining collections to washers, dryers, refrigerators, and the latest in home entertainment, Kincaid is everything you need to make your house a home. And when it comes to a great night's sleep, our showroom features leading brands of mattresses, offering comfort and quality you can count on. We don't just sell products, we stand behind them. When you buy your appliances or electronics from Kincaid, our expert service team is here to keep them running for years to come. It's the kind of care that sets us apart. For value, selection, and service you can trust, visit Kincaid Service Company today, locally owned and community strong.
On game day, winning is everything. But life's big wins happen off the field. When you win a heart. When you win their trust. When you win their respect. First Bank's community banking is perfect for life's big wins because of what we're big on. You. Make us part of your team for life's biggest wins.
Wearing that
All right,
last week, I
guys.
said I didn't
All
like
right.
it.
All right, we're back on.
We're back on.
All right, and now Kenny, you got to explain. You've got an official Green
The
Bay
official Green Bay draft
cap. Would you please explain the difference between a regular Green Bay cap and a Green Bay draft cap?
This has got a draft pin.
Hey, well, it's got the
And this
little
has got a little
chrome.
chrome on it.
Got a little
too.
chrome.
This
And what
is-
about around on the back? Let's
You
see
can't
that.
hide money. It's
What's
got the
that?
NFL on it. Look at that.
Chrome, all that.
What's this right over here?
It's chrome.
That's the
What does that
mouse's
say?
ear
New
right
era.
there.
New era.
Man, that's $100 cap.
They asked
What's
me-
that
I
cap
bet it's a
cost,
50 it's a
Kenny?
$50
they
cap.
didn't- It was donated to
50
me.
won't touch it. What
It was
would that
donated
cost?
What do you think it is?
Bill, how much
That's
is that
$50.
cap?
$50.
75.
Yeah, that's 50.
No,
50.
no.
His
Way out of
son
pocket.
sent that to him free of charge.
Right.
No, I
More
had
than
to
Oh,
that.
buy
you
it.
had to buy that?
It's about $40.
Man, you know people. You should get a deal.
I would have if I'd waited till I went up there, but I wasn't up there for
All
draft day.
Okay.
I wanted to act like I had something to do with who they picked.
Okay. Let me ask y'all this. Starting into the draft, the NFL tried to get Peyton Manning, or did get Peyton Manning, tried to go talk to Mendoza to come and show up at the draft. He had already made a decision. He wanted to stay at home because of his mom.
I think it was a great
Decision by him.
Well, what do y'all think
Think
about
that-
the NFL trying to get Peyton to go talk to him to get him to come?
Well,
I think
I think that was a good deal. I think that was good because I think Mendoza has a lot of respect for Peyton.
right.
And I don't, to be honest with you, Peyton may have went, but I don't know how much Peyton would have.
Right.
I'm
wanted
sure
him
he
to-
probably went in there and said, "You need to do what you
Yeah.
need to do."
Exactly.
Don't tell them. But do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right.
And I think that's
You
what
got to
happened.
stay home with his mom. I think that's
I don't-
cool.
got to stay
Yeah.
home. With
That
his
sounds
mother.
like something Roger Goodell would come up with to
Yeah.
me, and I'm not a fan. Did
I
you
watched
hear
Goodell,
him?
I watched Goodell yesterday, and he seemed like he understood. He's like, I
Well,
understand.
yeah, they shouldn't even put any pressure on the
Right.
kid.
No.
But did you hear the crowd when Goodell walks
Yeah.
out on the
I
stage?
still don't know
I know it.
ever draft that way.
Every draft.
Is it
that
every
way.
commissioner?
Every
Every
Yeah, but
commissioner.
it's worse.
It's
It's worse with him, though.
Yeah.
It's
He brings
whoever's
it on
in
himself.
charge.
Well,
It's him.
he had an exit ramp about 5 years ago and didn't take it. And I think everybody's like, back during COVID,
Yeah.
he had an exit ramp right then, didn't take it, and since then it's like it's
Why
time.
would you look what he's making? Like,
I
I know it's
$40 million a year or something.
unbelievable. That's
And
why he's
I-
staying.
I
Right.
don't think he's doing a super duper bad job, but he's brought it. They're playing they'll play as many games overseas
I
this year as
know.
they play at home. And is that good or bad?
I think
It's called the
bad.
I'm gonna say
NFL,
this.
National Football League.
Mhm.
Right.
National.
Something bad ever happens, heaven forbid, on one of these overseas games, that'll stop it real quick.
With a
Yeah.
flight.
Just saying.
Yeah.
The
I
world
I'm saying
turmoil
something
right
happens.
now. We're on
Yeah.
risky ground.
Right.
Right.
And if that ever happens, that's going to be the end of that one.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Don't disagree.
All right. Well, start.
go.
We knew who number one pick was going to be.
Yeah.
No surprise. But after that,
Number
Guys,
two,
talking about number three.
surprise.
Even
Even
though
number
it was
two.
a surprise,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thought it would be
Because
Reese.
because what did you say what did we say
They
last
canceled the
week?
canceled
They
season.
canceled, and I told you, I said I don't think I had.
They
anything to do
canceled it because
with
they already knew they wanted him.
Yeah,
though.
that's
what
right.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess it got down to where Arizona's here. And the rumor all day long was they had traded with Saints. That was out all day long. And they don't get the trade that they want. And they take Jeremiah Love, and that hurt the Titans fans. But what are you going to do now? You got Jeremiah Love, you've got Connor, you just signed the kid
I don't
from
know what the
Atlanta.
Cardinals are doing.
You just signed the kid from Atlanta, and then you've got Benson, who's a second-round pick.
They got 4 running backs.
4 running backs.
Yeah.
And paying a lot of money for it.
And they drafted Beck last night, didn't they?
They drafted Beck at quarterback.
Yeah,
I actually thought that was a good pick for them.
Yeah, I do too.
I think Beck will end up being a good pro.
I do too.
No.
I'm going to tell you.
I think he will. I think
His
he will.
attitude, from what I heard in the interviews, was terrible.
We're talking about the Cardinals, but I'm going to tell you, I think the Titans knocked it out of the park.
I think the Titans knocked it out of the park. I do.
All right, I got a trivia question. Okay.
Okay.
All right. In the 21st century, since 2000, how many players selected the number 1 overall pick have not been quarterbacks?
Off the top
That's
of my head, that'd take me
26.
too long.
That's 26 drafts. How many have
5.
not?
Maybe 3.
I'll go 5. It's somewhere in that 3 to 5 range.
6.
Yeah.
There's been 6 other players that have not.
Here's what I
been
think about the Titans. First pick, the guys from Ohio State. You get an Auburn guy, you get a Texas guy. All 3 of those are Big Ten and SEC schools.
Played competition.
They have great coaches, good weight rooms. They played against good competition. I'd rather take guys like that. I like their picks. I think they're all 3 guys that's going to compete early on.
And I'll be honest, like I told you earlier, I think they'll all 3 sign a
I do
second
too.
contract with Tennessee.
I do too. I mean, think about it. Wandale Robinson, who we got in offseason, and Carnell Tate are better than any 2 we ran out there last year.
That's not saying much.
No,
But it's
but it's better. It's
It's
saying
not.
You got
It's
to
saying
start
not.
Did we
But it
have
did-
receivers last
Right.
year?
But here's the deal. Did they get better?
We're better.
Oh, they're better.
All
These are good
right,
players.
then. That's what you want.
You got to give Cam Ward a chance. We stuck that guy out there last year. It's pathetic what we said.
Yeah, we did.
He had no wide receivers. His offensive line was terrible, and his running backs were average at best. At least we give him something now. I mean, you got to
Well,
give him
he's
something.
got something, but that
And the defense will be better, so that'll help him.
still got to work with the
So
offensive
the
line.
question
Yeah.
I have, the Falk guy, we'll get to him in just a second. Kendrick Falk.
Yeah.
They moved up from 35 to 31. But boy, they giving up that 101 pick. I didn't like the trade because the 101 pick's so big. It's the first pick today, if you still had it, to where someone is either falling to you, which we'll get to in a minute, or it's a great place to trade down because everybody's wanting to trade up.
Okay.
losing that
All
pick.
right.
I'm
Now,
gonna tell you,
Didn't like
I think they nailed it. Yeah, I would have liked to have the very first pick today, but for what
If
you said, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the upside of Falk and Hill and I think when they drafted Tate, they drafted the best offensive skill position player in the draft, and after Love, and probably the second least. The at the time Love the best and was like a no brainer deal, but I think Tate hadn't dropped a pass.
He's the
Yeah,
safest
he's a
offensive player on the board.
safety.
and he's not gonna run by you.
You know
But
what
if
you're
you-
getting with Tate.
You know what you're getting. He's gonna be a slot guy. You got to have all that, but he's one of those guys. You throw it around him close, he's probably gonna come up with it.
Yeah.
And
And
I
hey,
think
Ohio
Falk-
State wide receivers, they got a track record.
Hey,
They're
they
good.
do.
I mean, they're good.
I'll agree with you there.
And I think Falk, I think he's going to be Javon Curse sort of type deal. I
He's
think
more of a run stopper. I don't see Javon Curse. I don't see the speed. I don't see it. I don't see it.
I think you'll be surprised, Bill.
Now, maybe. But
All right.
you've already got this player, that John. What's the guy we signed? Franklin Myers.
But you want one on both sides.
No, I think you got somebody. What I read last night was the plan is him to play edge on first, second down and go to the inside
There you
on
go.
third down. But I think maybe that's what Sala wants. Is everybody's 6'6", 270, and they're all interchangeable. Maybe that's what we're doing.
Well, let me ask
we
you
talked
this.
about that
Right.
last
Yeah.
week.
So maybe that's what
he
we're
does.
doing.
He's going to out athletic people. That's what he's trying to do.
I mean, that's what that's his
That's his style.
His style.
All right, I want to ask you this, Bill.
Yeah.
You're on the clock today for the Titans. Your first pick today. Do
And
you
it's on
go?
down a little bit now.
Uh-huh.
It's not real quick.
No, it's on the 5th round.
Okay, well, let's just say you're sitting right there on the clock, and you have a choice to pick the best available player, whoever that could be. And I don't know how you get this
And
deep
how
into
he
the
fit-
draft
how
to
he
even
fits
know.
into your-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so the question is, back to the question I asked y'all last week: do you take the best available player or your needs? You start covering needs at this level.
Here's what I think: Titans still got several picks, even though they're not right there in round 4. You could very well see, and they've done a good job of moving.
Well, they got 5 picks left.
It wouldn't surprise me
Two,
to see them,
5.
5.
to see them move a little bit.
And if someone's not scared of that knee, Gerard McCoy's a steal at this point. I mean, if you get 5 or 6 years out of him,
If you can.
but I mean,
He'll
how
go-
bad
he'll
is
go to-
it?
he'll go
How
to-
bad is
he'll
it?
go to-
He'll,
go to
he'll definitely go today, but there's something in his medical.
They're all
It's
yeah.
something in his medical that has kept
He's going to have
32,
another
yeah.
surgery.
32 NFL teams from
From
taking
saying
a
no.
chance.
He
on
could
him.
miss the whole next year.
I mean, like you said, it only takes one.
Just takes one guy.
It didn't take none because all
Back to your
32
point.
of them are running from him.
All right, here
Yeah.
we are.
Here, back to the point about the best player. Is that what we did it for? We took the best offensive player based on a need, but did you take the best player?
Probably not.
Now,
Arvell Reese was probably
Listen,
Reese was
Arvell
your
Reese,
best
or
player.
maybe even Sonny
Yeah.
Styles. But if you'd taken Reese and you came back and stayed with 35, don't make the trade, and you get Denzel Boston,
Can I
is
ask,
that better? Is that better than Falk and Tate? That's
can
my
I
question.
can I ask you this? What's the difference between Reese and Falk?
Speed and ability to come around the corner.
But they're the same. I mean, you're talking the same thing.
Well, Reese is not going to play inside. Reese
There
is
you
more
go.
of an
Here's
edge
the
player.
thing about the draft: only time will tell. We
Yes,
don't
I
know
don't-
how those guys
I
will
don't-
pan out. We just got to
Me
see.
honestly, I don't think Reese is going to be the NFL player everybody thinks.
And he
he's
may
gonna
not.
be. I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to be. And the reason I'm saying this is the Packers had him last year. The Simmons guy that
Yeah.
was at Clemson that was so good. He was so good. He was an outside linebacker. He was a safety.
Yeah.
He was all this in college, and he never fit anything in the NFL. He was an athlete in college and didn't fit. I think you're going to see Reese is going to be the same way.
Good.
The 2024 version of Falk was much better than the 2025 because he had 7 sacks in 2024. And this year he played inside defensive tackle more than he played
Okay.
defensive end, which probably kept the stats down.
Sure.
And of course, the rumor is the coaching at Auburn wasn't too hot either. So that's why they have a new coach.
And here,
Is that a rumor?
That wasn't a rumor there.
let me throw this one out there to you. He's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 2 years ago, he was a young pup
Uh-huh.
and had the good year. So what do you think that meant? Well, I don't have to work like I used to,
Mhm.
and sort of took it off a little bit. Now it's different.
Last
And I
night,
think you'll see a different person.
I'm sitting there. I saw the trade up and I said, here comes the guard, my Kenny Parker offensive
yeah,
line.
that happened.
Here it
Yeah,
comes. Here
yeah.
it comes. We've traded up because the number 3 guard, supposedly his name's Emmanuel Pregnon from Oregon,
Yeah.
a beast of a guard. I said, here we go. We're taking him. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's
Now,
my next
but
question.
not that I don't like the player. I do like Anthony Hill Jr. as a linebacker. I think it's wonderful.
Right.
But let's go back to the player. Let's go back to need, brother.
Yeah.
And
We have a need at guard. We don't have a
You
right
know,
guard.
And I sent y'all texts through the thing where I told you who I thought here and here. And Salah's defense has got to have somebody. I mean, you look where he's at, Fred Warner and all that he's coached. The number one inside linebacker out there was Sonny Styles.
Yep.
Hill is the next person.
Him or the kid from Georgia, maybe. Allen
Sonny
might
Styles.
be better than him.
And I think
But I
that's
agree with
why
him. He's a
they
good
went-
player.
Yeah, I think that's why they went with it.
Buddy, you got a need at guard. You got a need at center. And you're
But-
trying to protect a franchise
Let's just
quarterback.
face it.
And
We
here-
got needs, man.
We got a lot of
They
needs.
got, they got all kind of needs, but here's another thing about defense. If you don't score, you ain't gonna beat me much.
Your question earlier, I think you just keep drafting the best player available right now. We're so bad.
They-
We just
they're
got to
needing
keep getting
players.
players.
It-
We got to
it
get
don't
players.
matter.
But here's the other
But
thing.
he's got to
It's
fit. He's got to fit what they're doing. He just
Yeah.
can't be a.
Right.
He's got to be
Yeah.
a locker room player. He's
Yeah.
got to.
But if we're
he's gotta-
worried about our quarterback, you got to put something in front of him.
They,
You
they
do.
will. They will.
They will find
Well,
it.
no, they're gonna put some. They're gonna put 5 players out there. I'm talking
Well,
about getting the
don't
best
just-
one of those you can
But
get out there.
What he got with like Falk, Bill said, well, he plays out here. They can move him inside, so they can move him around. So they just didn't get one. They got a couple.
Can they move him to offensive guard?
Well, they might move him tight end if they need to.
Oh God!
But,
Oh,
I
come
don't
on
know.
now.
But I think we're all. I mean, they. Bill said they got needs.
Well, and two, here's another thing too. The existing players are going to be a different version of themselves with different coaching. They're going to be different.
and they're going to look
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
They're going to
Maybe.
look, but I mean,
Well, honestly, look at the Titans' offensive
Can't let
line.
much
The
worse,
minute
can it?
Callahan got out of town, facts are facts.
Yeah.
The minute
They got
Callahan
better,
left,
didn't they?
we got better. The
And
day he left.
and he
that
was
made no
supposed to be the
sense.
best.
And his
Yeah.
dad
Yeah.
was supposed to be the best. Well,
Well,
something wasn't meshing because
No,
when he was
wasn't
gone,
meshing.
we were better.
Do you think the tension between ownership, management, and coaching dictated an outcome that nobody expected because of that chemistry
I think
there?
what it was is the new person that came in and started calling the offense scaled it to what his players were doing better, what his players were better at than what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know, like you heard Chad Spencer a couple of weeks ago said, I don't have a system. I got to see what my players can do,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm going to do.
Well,
I think that's what the new
Yeah.
new offensive coordinator, head coach for the Titans when
Yeah.
Callahan left, scaled it down to what those guys are doing better. Now, they may not have been successful,
Mm-hmm.
and they weren't, but they were better and more competitive.
All right. You got best available listing today.
Yep.
Who are they?
Jamad McCoy, Tennessee, the corner. Keith Abney, Arizona State, corner. Keontae Scott, Miami, corner. Malik Muhammad, corner, Texas. All these
All
guys.
corners.
I like the I like
And
the
they're all
Washington
corners.
running back. I like him.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Mike Washington, whatever. his name.
You're a GM. You're a GM. You got McCoy up there. Would you go with him?
At this point,
At
yeah.
this point, yeah. There's a talent. He's a
Yeah,
top
he's a-
15,
yeah,
top 12
yeah.
guy.
If he get 5 or
He
6
may
years
have
out
been
of
the
it.
best corner in this draft.
Oh, he
honestly.
was the best corner.
I think there's another factor involved here.
There's
It's a
something
mental
else.
aspect.
Yeah.
He's a Tennessee guy. Okay. I think there's a different attitude when a Tennessee guy gets to play for a Tennessee professional team. I think that there is a different attitude, and attitude means a lot. You mentioned Chad when he came in.
Mm-hmm.
He's bringing a different attitude
Sure.
to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And that opens up into a broader question. Don't you think attitude can be a 50 or 60% factor
I do.
in the way all these guys perform based on where they've been and where they are now with a different attitude coming in?
And that's what I like about the Titans coaching staff.
That's what I'm getting
That's
at.
what I like about
They're big
them.
on that too.
Both
There's no doubt.
offensively and defensively. They got, and here's what I think. Salas is going to be the head coach, but he's going to be defensive coach, and Dable is going to be
Man,
offense. And
I think he's going to stay out of his way.
They're
I-
going
I-
to
Yeah,
they're
I think
going to
so,
work
too.
together a little bit. Dable's going to answer to Salah, but Salah's going to say, "Hey,
what you need.
you what
Yeah,
how
what you
can
need.
I
Yeah.
how can I help you?"
Right.
Of course, because if that wasn't the case, Salah would have said, "Hey, we're not going to go take to start with. I want this, and this is
Right.
what I think."
He let Dable have his player right off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Guys,
we did predict this. Colton Hood did go the second round,
Yeah.
pick 5, went
Great
ahead of
pick.
McCoy. That was a good one. Eli Stowers of Vanderbilt went
That-
the second round to the Eagles.
That was
I
a
like that.
that
one.
was a great pick for the
Yeah,
Eagles.
The Eagles
Yeah.
always draft well.
And I thought he fell further than I thought he would.
Me too. I
Because
thought he was
Goddard's
gonna
getting
hire him.
old. He could start in a year or two. He
And then
thought,
Chris
yeah.
Brazel from Tennessee, I thought was a steal.
Me
too.
319 because his measurables at
Yeah.
6'5" and runs a 4.37,
And we talked about
Well, he
I-
can catch the
and he
football.
could catch the
too.
Yeah.
football, and his stats were great.
I talked about they all
He's a
say,
Jeremiah.
who won the draft,
What's his
who's
name?
doing this. Dallas Cowboys has had a great draft right now.
Yeah.
But
The Giants have had a good draft.
the Giants have had a good draft. Who's going to win the draft is going to be the ones that win today.
What's Hyatt? What was his name?
Jalen Hyatt.
Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah.
Brazel is a bigger Jalen Hyatt that can catch the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Jalen Hyatt never could. He just never could do it
He
with the
never made-
Giants.
he
Never
never
made it.
NFL.com have the Tennessee Titans an A- grade.
Well, that's not
One of
bad.
the higher
No,
ones.
Good.
Yeah.
Guys, we need to get out of here. We've gone
Yeah.
a little bit
What
over,
time
but
is it?
Still watch
it's
the
been fun.
draft.
What time's it
It's
start?
been fun. Hey,
What time?
11.
hey, Jason.
I may have time. to
Don't
get me a
forget the
pedicure.
popcorn from the pig.
That's right.
The 2 P's. Popcorn
That's right. I got
and pig,
time. I
all
got
right?
time.
So I need to go
Yeah.
to popcorn. Give me some popcorn for it.
Well,
Get my
I'll see y'all
pedicure.
out there. Yeah.
Popcorn and pig. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
For
Hey, thanks, Coach Sheffield, for watching. We want you on here.
Yep.
We got a seat for
And
you.
more
Yeah.
of you.
Yep. And we want to thank our sponsors, First Bank, and of course the pig, and
Kincaid.
Service.
Company.
right here in Shelbyville.
Come out and
thanks
support
for
our
watching.
teams.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week, same time.